of United Biopharma. Today we are going to talk about types of innovation and how UBP is using a combination of them to build UBP's innovation execution to solution. In times of change, the evolving, adaptive, and improving of abilities to innovate is crucial. Innovation turns out to be the only solution to the constant growth of a society due to business globalization, change of culture and social norms, and the natural resource scarcity. So what exactly is innovation? Innovation can be a new idea, creative source, new imaginations in form of device or method. It can also be viewed as the application of better solutions that meet the new requirements or existing market needs. In many companies, people often think innovations in brainstorming sessions that are lasting for many hours. However, innovations require more than a bunch of markers and a wall of sticky notes. Innovation is not merely an invention. Instead, it consists of what the end user needs and how we collaborate with our partners and so on. Innovation should be able to create value and at least financially self-sufficient or break even. We should go beyond the product and consider the possibility of a new model of operation, profit, system, and service. Just like Francisco Redi's experiment of biogenesis proved that life is necessary to produce life. Innovation doesn't have to be built from scratch. It just has to be new to a certain market and industry. These are the 10 types of innovation introduced by Larry Kelley, who is a globally recognized leader in innovation effectiveness. These 10 types of innovation can be categorized into configuration, offering, and experience. In configuration, the types of innovation are focused on the innermost workings of an enterprise and its business system. In offering, the types of innovation are focused on an enterprise core product. In experience, the types of innovation are focused on more customer-facing elements of an enterprise and its business system. Companies can maximize their innovation by applying a combination of these 10 types of innovation. The more types included in the combination, the better the outcome would be, and the harder for the rivals to copy. But please note that this is not a flowchart, nor the order and the hierarchical relationship of innovation types. Any combination of the 10 types can be a unique innovation. Since the establishment in 2013, UBP has been focusing on configuration and offering innovations. To meet the UBP's strategy of China for China, Taiwan for the rest of the world, we reorganized our subsidiaries, Taiwan, China, and the United States. Taiwan is full of innovation energy at relatively low cost, so Taiwan is the perfect place for our base of R&D, manufacturing, and operations. The only disadvantage of Taiwan is its small market size, and that's the reason why we need to aim for markets outside of Taiwan. China is, of course, the first choice since it is the second largest pharmaceutical market in the world, and we share the same language and culture. And they welcome innovation outside of China in recent years. So China is the perfect market for us to show the world what we are able to develop and commercialize. Another piece of puzzle of UBP's structure is the United States. The US is the largest pharmaceutical market and has been friendly to Taiwan. So we were able to get connected and collaborate with NIAID in clinical development of our products. Based on current structure, we are able to commercialize our own brand in China, while our licensed product rights in the other region to big pharmaceutical partners in the US, and we will also collaborate with them as a manufacturer. Networking is also an important part of our innovation. We have partnered with over 15 organizations worldwide in R&D, clinical development, manufacturing, and business. In the past few years, UBP has established a fully integrated platform from cell line development to product commercialization with a manufacturing capacity of more than 10,000 liters. UBP's fully integrated system of cost-effective operation, sustainable business practice, and uncompromised quality enable us to run our project at a fast pace. So far, we have received 12 IND approvals in the US, China, Thailand, and Taiwan. Putting the health of mankind first, UBP is now fighting COVID-19 on the front line, along with UBP's parental company, UBI, and the numerous researchers and healthcare providers around the world. With our experience in biologics development and manufacturing, we were able to shorten cell line development to GMP manufacturing for high-precision designer vaccine antigen to 6 months after the outbreak. In 2021, we anticipate being able to supply the world with 500 million to 1 billion doses within our existing manufacturing capability of the UBI group. There is no better way to demonstrate our outstanding capability and eagerness to confront the global crisis. Our innovation regarding product performance comprises 3 monoclonal antibody drugs focused on infectious disease and immune disorders. HIV has been a critical public health problem since the late 20th century. Currently, there are over 1 million patients in China and the US, and the numbers continue to grow. HIV drug is a huge and growing market. The sales number will grow to $22.5 billion in 2025. Although the current CR can highly efficiently suppress HIV viral load, there is no cure of HIV infection. Patients need to take lifelong treatment and face some problems, such as long-term side effects, drug resistance, and stigma. Thus, a disruptive innovation of therapeutic with potential functional HIV cure is urgently needed. Why it is so hard to cure HIV infection? It is because HIV hides inside the DNA of latent infected T cell, whereas the R cannot reach. Those HIV reservoirs can blow up anytime, like a bomb. To achieve HIV functional cure, the drugs has to be able to suppress viral load and work as an immune modulator to restore immunity of patients to remove HIV reservoir in the body. With the criteria in our mind, we designed our leading product UB421. UB421 is CD4 domain 1 targeting antibody that works as a HIV entry inhibitor and an immune modulator. Combining these two figures allows UB421 having the potential to remove HIV reservoir. In previous clinical trials, UB421 demonstrated its capability of viral load reduction of 3 lots for up to 16 weeks. Today, it is the only HIV therapy that is effective as a single agent and has not encountered drug resistance in any treated patient. The data of immunity assessment show that HIV-specific immunity is increased in patients, including increasing in CD8 cells and decreased Treg cells, PD1 and PD1 positive CD4 cells, CD39 and CTLA4 on Treg cells. In addition, we observed total HIV DNA reduction in experimental cohorts, which indicates the reduction of HIV reservoir. UB421 is currently entering a multi-nation, multi-center phase 3 clinical trial for CR substitution, as well as other trials for HIV, multiple drug resistance, and the proof of concept study for HIV functional cure. The development of UB421's application in HIV functional cure is a collaborative effort with Dr. Tae-Woo Chong, who is the chief of HIV immunovirology in Dr. Tony Fauci's team at NIH/NIAID. Recurrent genital herpes caused by HSV-2 infection is another infectious disease UBP is focusing on. The disease is not fatal, However, it tremendously lowers the quality of life and increases the risk of HIV infection. According to a study, 38 of the patients have more than 6 recurrences every year. The current global treatment market size of genital herpes is $1.6 billion. Acyclovir, valacyclovir, and vanciclovir are 3 most commonly used drugs that have to be taken at least once every day, only for symptom remission. Unfortunately, there are only incremental improvements in drugs for genital herpes in the past few decades. Unmet medical needs remain for those patients having more than 6 recurrences every year. UB621 as a disruptive innovation in genital herpes treatment and the only novel therapeutic for HSV patients, it is designed to provide a better efficacy, long-acting, and simplified regimen. In previous studies, UB621 demonstrated hundreds to thousands for efficacy to neutralize both HSV1 and HSV2 than the current drugs on the market. It can also neutralize drug-resistant HSV2. It is expected to reduce frequency, severity, and the duration of the recurrences. In phase 1 clinical study, UB621 demonstrated long half-life to be used once every 1 to 2 months as the treatment or suppressive therapy. The formulation of UB621 has also been optimized to be injected subcutaneously, which further decreases the drug burden of patients. UB621 is proved to be safe and well tolerated, and we believe that the quality of life of patients suffering from recurrent genital herpes will be significantly improved by UB621. UBP is also aiming to develop a better solution for patients with allergy, such as chronic spontaneous urticaria and asthma. Collectively, this disease affects millions of people, resulting in considerable morbidity, mortality, pain and suffering, and medical cost. Although Xolair can effectively neutralize free IgE and inhibit allergic reactions, IgE synthesis is not inhibited, and thus disease symptoms come back quickly after Xolair treatment stopped. UB221 is a newly designed antibody that not only neutralizes free IgE, but also reduces the synthesis of IgE. This is a chart showing the itch severity score of the patient treated with Xolair. We can clearly see that the unsolved issue of Xolair include 1. Slow symptom relief effect, 3 weeks after first dose, and 2. Quick to relapse after treatment discontinues. The newly designed anti-IgE antibody, UB221, has 7 to 8-fold higher IgE binding affinity than Xolair, forming more stable immunocomplex with IgE, and thus UB221 works faster than Xolair and neutralizes more free IgE. In addition, UB221 is 7-fold stronger in inhibiting allergen-induced degranulation, which leads to better symptom relief capability. More importantly, UB221 has an extended IgE suppression effect through binding to CD23-IgE to reduce IgE synthesis. Using UB221, quality of life of patients with CSU and asthma will be significantly improved with faster relief of symptoms and a long-lasting symptom relief effect even after treatment discontinues. We started as a company in Taiwan, but we are now an international group. Our team in Taiwan, China, and the US, in collaboration with over 50 partners, have successfully brought our products from preclinical to phase 3 in the past few years, which is a great deal of progress. We believe that influential innovations come from massive systemic analysis and synthesis. After a long time of intelligent search and analysis, we conclude that innovation failures were not because of the lack of creativity, but the lack of connections between several innovations. We learn from those failures in history, and then we combine several types of innovations to build 3 times 3 times 3 equals infinity as our secret weapon of disruptive innovation. We hope that in the near future, innovative high-quality therapeutic antibodies of UBP will be available in Taiwan, in China, in the US, and every corner of the world, reflecting the UBP motto: we care, we invent, and we share.